A lot of men are so frustrated when it comes to women these days. Do you looks max? Do you get more money? Do you have to have game, charisma, aura? Are you a bad boy, alpha? What is it? Men are driving themselves crazy. They're following this podcast or this YouTube channel. They're buying this coaching program, trying to figure it out. And many are still confused, frustrated, and upset because they don't understand female nature. And in this video, I'm going to break it down why I love female nature, and I'm going to provide some solutions for you to help you with your frustrations so you can understand how to navigate dating, how to navigate relationships, or if you're already married, how to improve your marriage. So if you've been frustrated, if you've been struggling, you want to figure it out, this is the video for you. What's up, guys? So this topic is one that I'm passionate about because it's one that frustrated me for so many years. I grew up in a family that women hated men. All they did was complain about men are no good, men are trash. I mean, they would make some of these female feminist podcasters look like saints based off what I heard growing up. And it's interesting. So the way my mind works, I'm like, this is what these women in my family, the women I saw, if this is what they're saying they don't like about men, well, if I just do the opposite, right? I'll just do the opposite. I'll get the woman of my dreams. So I was the nice guy. I was the people pleaser. I was the spoiler. Spent money. Thank God Venmo and Zelle and Cash App did not exist back then, because I would have been that goofy with the screenshot online that, gets exposed for sending, a girl money who I just met or just started dating. I would have been that guy. I can admit it. Right? Super nice guy. Because if I'm listening to what these women say they hate men and I'm logically doing the opposite, I should have success, right? Wrong. There's a lot of men that take this similar approach because they think logically this is what's going to work. Female nature, there's nothing logical about it. If you approach women with a logical mindset, you will struggle, period. See, with women, it's not about what you do, it's how you make them feel. And that's where us men, our brains don't quite comprehend that. Like, what do you mean, right? Because as men, that's how we move, right? We do stuff. That's masculine energy. We build, we get things done. That's just our power. That's what we're put here to do. But women, they want to feel their way through life. You got to make them feel something. I've talked to so many women who pretty much did not date a guy who checked a lot of boxes. He had the height, he had the money, he was loyal, all the things that logically you should want. A woman should say, you know what, I need to take care of this man, I need to marry this man, this guy has everything. But yet, she leaves him for somebody who doesn't do those things, who doesn't check those boxes. And we're just like, oh, women don't like good men. Not necessarily. The difference is usually that safe guy doesn't know how to spike a woman's emotions. Women need to feel something. And if you're always playing it safe, well, then you're going to be the boring guy in her story. She wants to feel life. She wants to feel the ups and the downs and the spikes. And whether they realize it or not, that's what the bad guy does. That's what the guy who lived by his own rules does. Is he the best long-term option? Probably not. But see, women don't think that way. They go off how they feel in the moment. So if you know about the dual mating strategy, you have the short-term attraction, you have the long-term attraction. You have to master short-term attraction first, then work on the long-term attraction second. But see, guys like me, what I used to do back in the day, I was all about the safety and the long-term attraction, and I didn't spike those emotions being too nice. So what happened was I could get some initial interest from a woman, but then they would always pull back, and then I would fail the pullback test, and then she would leave me for somebody else. Ironically, most of them would come back several months later when they realized, that I was a pretty good dude and they probably should have stayed with me. But again, this is how female nature works. Their attraction grows in space. They needed that distance from me to feel my absence, because they felt my absence. They no longer had those things that I was doing for them. They missed it. And then they want to try to come back. Now me, I'm not the type, I don't go back. One and done. That's just how I move. An abundant universe. However, I did want to figure this out. And that's why I'm making this video, to help guys figure it out. You have to understand female nature, and why I think it's a good thing, is that female nature is designed to crush weak men. I'll say that again. Female nature is designed to crush weak men. Too many weak men out here that are enabling bad behavior. Too many weak men out here making decisions that are pandering to women. And it's creating all sorts of dysfunction in the social dynamics in society. So female nature was originally put in place to crush that. But there's a lot of things in society that's been able to protect weak men and continue to enable the behavior, which ironically, these men are the ones that enable the bad behavior, and they're the ones taking the biggest losses. They're the ones getting killed and divorced. They're the ones spending money on OnlyFans and have the mental health issues because they are, on the hub. It's a very interesting thing, but nonetheless, female nature was designed to crush weak men and allow for strong men to reproduce. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that you have to be a jerk. Don't do that. You can be respectful. You can be an honorable man, but you need to be a man that stands on business, right? And here's some shifts that I made that will help you out tremendously when it comes to women dating. First one is you have to stand for something. What are you working towards? What's your purpose? What's your mission? What are you building? That needs to be your number one priority. Well, God first, but if you're not a religious guy, your mission first, right? That's so important. One of the best advices I got when I first got a dating coach, a relationship coach, she said one of the most attractive parts of a man is a man that is building his life and then he's choosing who he allows in it. Not a man that's building his life around a woman. So the woman wants to be chosen. She wants to be invited into his world, into his frame. That changed everything for me, because what happened was I would get a girl interested in me. We start dating, and then I would shift my focus off what I need to do and put all my attention on her. And that would push her away. And then when she would pull away even farther because I was trying harder to pull her back, then that just killed the polarity. It ruined her attraction, and then she would leave. It took me a while to figure that out, but once it clicked, it clicked. Now I just focus on myself and my life and my needs and my desires. And I choose to allow my lady to come into my frame. And she loves that. She loves it. So that's so powerful, man. You got to be focusing on yourself first. Get your body right. Yes, get in the gym. Health matters. Learn a skill. Learn something. Either learn how to fix some things or, learn something. Don't just be just a guy coasting through life, complacent. Learn something. Have friends. Have some sort of social life, men's group, something that you're a part of, right? Have a life outside of her, and then you choose to allow her in it. Now, with that said, this is the second point. She's going to try to pull you off of that. So my next thing that I learned was women are always going to test you. And the more attracted she is to you, the more she's going to test you. When she stops testing you, she's already checked out. So you have to be able to pass the test. And one of the things you're going to try to do is when you're on your mission and you're doing your thing, she's going to try to pull you off of that. She's going to try to demand more of your attention. She's going to try to get you to cancel plans. She's going to see what she can get away with. She's going to push your boundaries to see if you're going to set them. Because Women feel safe with a man who can put his foot down. She feels safe with a man that can tell her no. She feels safe with a man who honors his boundaries and provides structure. Because how they look at it, if you cannot stand up to her, if you do not have any boundaries, you just go with the flow of life, you just let people push you around or knock you off your mission. If you let her do that, she feels that you are going to allow the world to do that. How can she feel safe with a man who can't even stand up to her, put boundaries up for her within the relationship structure? That's how she looks at it, right? Now, is it always a logical thing? No, but it's a feeling. So you have to understand that. She's going to try to pull you off your frame. I have other videos where I talk about unshakable frame, boundaries. It's that important. Too many times, men, because we value peace, just oh, whatever, babe, like, it's good, because we want to avoid the confrontation. We don't want to ruffle her feathers. We don't want to deal with her emotions. So what do? We go with the flow. But little do you realize is that each time you do that, it's death by 1,000 cuts. And before you know it, she's checked out. And you're like, whoa, what happened? Why did she leave me? Everything was going great. There you go. So you have to have that unshakable frame. You have to have the boundaries. The next thing, and I think this was a really big one for me, and I think a lot of men screw this up too, is you can't take what she says personally. I used to take so many things that my girlfriends would say or their emotions, and I would internalize it like I wasn't good enough or I did something wrong, or that she's just being crazy, like she don't get it. And I would just go through this mental battle every time she would have some sort of emotional spike or journey, or she would bring something up. Whereas now I hold space because I've done the trauma work and I understand female nature and I regulate my nervous system, and I know how to regulate my nervous system amongst chaos, that I don't take anything my girlfriend says personally anymore. I don't. Now, I'm not saying tolerate disrespect. That's a whole other topic. But women are emotional. They want to feel those spikes, those ups and downs, right? Can you be grounded when her emotions are high? Don't try to fix the problem. Don't tell her she's wrong. Just breathe and let her process. Yeah, is she going to say some things towards you that may not make sense? Probably. Guess what? It's just a mood swing. It's just emotion. Think about times where you were emotional, you look back and you're like, man, I can't believe I did that stupid thing, or I can't believe I said that, when you just were in an emotional state. That's how your woman is all the time. So don't take it personal. Matter of fact, laugh it off. Be light about it. Amplify it. She says something to you, agree with it and amplify it. Make a joke out of it, right? And just hold space. Stay calm. Because I promise you, once she goes through her emotional process, you want to hear the words, I'm sorry, babe, come from your girl. Let her process her emotions without you fixing it, without you raising your voice, without you getting worked up. Stay light, breathe through it. And when she gets through it, she will calm down and she'll be open to the logical conversation. She will apologize for the mood swing. And you may get a little fun, some intimacy afterwards too, because she's going to feel so turned on and safe. These are these feelings that women crave from their men. And when you provide that, you get a whole different response from him. But if you lose your cool and you're getting emotional and you're yelling, well, guess what? Now you're in her frame and she does not like that. And ironically, the more you fall into her frame, the more she's going to amplify the tension to see how you're going to respond. And most guys keep going deeper and deeper down that spiral, and it doesn't work out well. So I'm telling you, hold frame, hold space. Don't take it personally. Just agree, amplify, laugh it off, let her get through a process. I promise you, it will be fine. Okay. Now, this last one, about female nature a lot of guys get wrong is the provision piece. I hear so many guys talk about how they buy their woman this and they pay for this, and it's very transactional. And you go online, you go on X, and what do you see? You see a bunch of arguing about relationships now have become transactions, and it's just a mess, right? And there's a lot of people that operate that way. However, when you understand female nature and you understand how to trigger feelings, you understand how to hold space, you understand that you focus on yourself and you're willing to walk away because you are mission focused, you are focused on what's best for you in your life, and you're not putting your world around a woman, guess what? You're not in a transactional relationship anymore. You are going to see the essence of female nature. You're going to see the beauty of it. You're going to feel the intimacy that's behind it. You're going to feel the love and support, the connection that's there. But you have to do those things. If you think you're going to buy devotion, good luck. It's not going to work. And maybe it'll get you some, intimacy in the beginning if you got a lot of money. But trust me, that flame dies really quick. You see it all the time with celebrity couples. You see it all the time with pro athletes. I'm like, bro, your wife, she's not an OF girl. Your girlfriend's not an OF girl. You're not going to buy devotion. Make her feel the feelings. Show up in your masculine essence. Show up as that man that she craves at the primal level. Then you'll get all of those things that the internet says women don't do anymore. Women respond to us, whether you realize it or not, whether you want to accept it or not. Women respond to us. And when I learned these things, and when I understood female nature, and I went from being a victim and hating women and trying to change women, and really just learned what I needed to learn, the right way to go about relationships, to express myself as a divine masculine, dating became so much better. Women responded to me differently. I attracted much higher quality women. I'm in now 3 years going, such an amazing, loving relationship. Me and my girlfriend, we don't argue. We've never once argued. Now, we have tough conversations, but we can talk about anything. We're very transparent. We can talk about anything without it turning into an argument. She's never once disrespected me. 3 years. Intimacy. Not lacking at all. At all. We just enjoy each other's company, right? And I don't do like the big grand gestures, and I'm not a millionaire and all these things that you say you have to be to have a healthy, relationship in modern times, as the internet says. Like, no, do what works, follow the principles, how we're wired at the primal level. And this is the result. And I'm sharing that with you because you can have the same result, right? Don't think you have to have 7 figures in the bank account. Don't try to overcompensate with grand gestures, right? Don't go broke trying to buy her love or devotion. Don't do any of that. It's not going to work. Focus on yourself and how you show up, and you live your life, and you can remain calm under the chaos. Female nature is going to be something that you learn to appreciate rather than hate. I promise you, because that's the journey that I went through, and I'm sharing that with you. So if you got more questions, feel free to comment below, hop in the school community where I could dive deeper on that, and I can even help you answer a specific question that you have. So it's free. Click on the link, join the brotherhood. It's so worth it. And I'm here. I want to start a movement, and appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Till next time, check it out.